What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the week. Every week we follow. We are live. I'm exhausted. Villa win another game. Villa get another clean sheet. And it's the same as you were. One game to go. Gotta win it. Gaz,
it's going
help
down
me
to the
out.
wire.
You're going to have to drag me through this one because I am battered.
Mate, it's been a long night, and but
It takes me. It's that dry. 2.5 hours is not.
That's a killer, isn't it, mate?
I've just driven 4.5 hours round trip to that game.
Okay, love the Villa.
And I never I don't know, it was never in doubt, was it really? I mean, there was a point, obviously, first half, it was quite slow. The whole thing was quite slow. The first half, we really couldn't really get through. They were parking banks of fire, like putting 9 men behind the ball. And all they were doing was basically getting the ball and then lumping it out to the left to see if Son can get any joy. And he did have bits of joy. Yeah.
Mate, I've got to say that it was a bizarre game of football because first half they kind of made a bit of an effort to try and nullify us and part the bus and just like you said, just try and hit Son on the counter attack. And he's coming back from injury, whatever. He caused us problems. He did. But we, again, this age-old thing, I got a bit frustrated in the first half because we didn't move the ball quick enough. You got 9 men behind the ball, and we try and hold on to it around the penalty. Sorry, not the penalty, the halfway line, and then look for movement. Rodgers and Asensio today just proved to me it doesn't work. It doesn't work, mate. Like, it nullifies Rodgers, and then you've got. And the moments that we did do it, I thought McGinn looked like the most likely. He was running his nuts off, trying to make things happen. Matson was trying to get in behind. But again, we weren't moving the ball quick enough. And then when we did open them up, it's etched in my brain, mate, and I don't want to have a go. But that Watkins pass from the penalty spot where he passed it.
What is he past there?
What is he doing?
Oh, just bang it. What are you doing? To be fair, there's so many times today where there was just like you just shout at players, just like, just fucking shoot. Just shoot. Wenger's Arsenal back in the day. Just shoot. You've got so many chances. And he was like, pass. Oh, we lost the ball. Pass. Oh, we lost the ball. I'm just like, oh my God, have a dig.
What? I don't know. It's almost like we've been told not to shoot. Like, I don't understand. Like, get as close to goal.
I do think there is a bit of that. Apparently, I'm sure I've heard. I think it was. I want to say it was either Bailey or McGinn last season or the season before. They said that Emery says don't shoot unless you are 100% sure it's going to be on target and you're going to test the keeper.
Well, it's like we don't shoot from outside the box, do we? Like, that's what we've. It's almost like that's what we've been told to do. Now, thankfully, Spurs were dreadful today. Like they did.
So bad. Talk about making up the numbers. Oh my word,
mate! After we scored the goal, it felt very much like a training game.
Yeah,
well, it did.
Tom K's right here as well. Their keeper did.
Mate, their keeper looked 9 years old. Like, it was there wasn't a pube on his face, right? He looked like they just literally picked him up from school. What
he looked like he travelled back to the 90s as well with his like kind of dyed hair as well.
Mate, we could have shot. That was a game we could have shot from the halfway line. It's like when you see kids football, and as soon as the ball goes in the air, no chance. Just
what happened? We had one shot. We had one shot. We ran through and we scored. Yeah. That's what Boubacar Kamara did. He just got it on target. And if I'm honest, like, the keeper should be saving that.
I don't know. He comes through a couple of plays, mate.
He went through one set of legs, but I still think he was.
Mate, I don't care. I'm made up for that guy, because he's.
Right.
Again, he was outstanding today, I thought. So we've done what we've had to do in a game that was. I mean, Spurs just didn't look interested after the goal went in. Like, even when they made their subs, we scored the second goal as they were trying to make them. Solanke came on. They just looked like, we'll just focus on Wednesday. And I've just looked on TikTok, and they've got Spurs fans going, "Oh, we don't care about it. Like, it's just we're on the plane to Bilbao." And but I mean, I don't care.
I'm not gonna lie, they better win it.
Well, as a football fan, mate, even Villa in its darkest days, and when we got relegated, I don't think, did we lose 21 games?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That season we got relegated was pretty bad.
It was
But I
pretty
also
bad.
don't think I don't think we've. I don't think I've ever known us to go in other than like like a Carabao Cup game or something like that. I don't remember us ever going to a league game just going. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
No, just almost throwing it. And this is the thing, right? Okay, so they had this whole thing about moving the game, more time, or more day. They rotate that. They played the B team anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, what was the point in that? All
Oh,
that
mate. Yeah.
farce.
It was a funny atmosphere because they also only bought about 10 fans.
Yeah, there's about 10 fans there. It was literally just empty. What I couldn't understand was why their
Had
allocation was
both.
really big.
Yeah, yeah.
They had the upper tier, but they also had the bottom tier. They had like 3 sets of that stand, whereas usually there's only 2.
Mate,
Sometimes they open up to a
they
third.
just needed 10 seats, didn't they? That's all they needed. I can't believe they had 2 stands for 10 people. I mean, that is typical
Carrying
Cockney Sparrows, wasn't
carrying a taxi. A lot of them
it?
just shared an Uber. That was good.
7-seater
I
from
like that.
Euston. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
just
like that.
brilliant.
Split fare.
Nice one,
All
Tom.
split fare just coming up in a little minibus. Yeah, it was a bizarre game. The atmosphere got going after we scored. After we scored, the whole stadium kind of lifted, and the atmosphere was decent. But before that, there just wasn't a huge a lot to shout about, was there? There wasn't a lot to like. Honestly, okay, and actually, I don't. It probably wasn't a game in the end. In hindsight, it wasn't a game for Mings because you just didn't need to defend. We didn't need to defend in any way.
No,
However,
but Torres did not
Torres
paint
was
himself any
poor.
glory. He was poor again, mate. In the
His
first half,
passing was really bad.
yeah, in the first half, mate. Like there was one moment that really pissed me off where McGinn had dropped his shoulder to the right to receive the pass, and he played it into his left foot, and we lost the ball. I'm like,
Mm,
how have you not seen that? Like it was just he did okay, but I think I prefer Mings as a defender. But like you say, it was probably not the game for Mings because we didn't have to defend. But I do worry that if Mings is going to be around next season, because I know he's been
yeah.
carrying injury, but with age and stuff, is he going to look to move on? But it's neither near or there. The most important thing is, mate, 3 points. It
Mm,
goes down to the wire. The thing I want to talk about the most, because you left before the end of the game, right? I don't know if you've seen
mm.
it on social media yet, but mate, I didn't think it was true, but it looks like Emmy's going. Like he had the tears in his eyes at full time when the full time whistle went, right? His eyes just welled up, right? And he walked towards the hole. He was the last to go there, and he waved goodbye. And then he was walking back, and there was tears streaming down his face, mate. And then he went in, and he came back out, and he was with his wife and his kids, and he looked like he'd been sobbing, mate. And it's all over social media at the moment. And
But if he's like the thing that doesn't get me with that is if it is Saudi, right? If he's reacting like that to it, like we're not going to force him to go.
but are we forcing him to go because he's just
No,
signed a long?
you
He
can't
signed a
force a
long.
player. You
Yeah, but he
can't
signed a
force a
long.
player to go.
Yeah, but there's
We
nothing.
can accept a bid. He doesn't have to accept terms.
Yeah, but mate, it's like we've accepted the bid. It doesn't maybe he doesn't have to accept terms, but maybe like look, you have to go and see it for yourself because it for me that reaction was a good boy. And I hope I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, like it looks like he's going, and I'm gutted if it's true. I'm gutted because we can't be selling our best players because not only that, Olsen looks like he's going to be leaving as well. That means no goalkeepers. Who the fuck are we bringing in? Even if we get mega money for Martinez, it's going to be anywhere near the caliber that. And I know Martinez has not been at his best this year, but I don't name me a better goalkeeper that we
Well,
could
this is
realistically get.
this. Like obviously Tom K says here, we'll get good money for him though. Get some good signing. It's like, yeah, like I can't, but like the amount of money you get for a goalkeeper, it's not like you're going to get 60, 70, 80 million or something like that. You're probably going to get maximum 50. I think I heard rumors around it was like 50 million euros, which is only like 35, 40 million quid. And I'm like,
No,
yeah, no,
well,
you're right. Like as in to bring in another goalkeeper of that ilk, that level. I don't know I don't know who you're getting. I literally
look,
can't think. I
the
can't
only
think of a player. I can't think of a player that's also good with their feet
I can't
of that
see.
level.
I know exactly. like I was saying to Gaz next to me today, like, you know, he can play, and I just don't know like how you replace him. I get on board with others going like Watkins and potentially Ramsey, even though I don't want Ramsey to go. But Martinez, I just don't. I think he's irreplaceable at the moment. Like I think that's a
No, yeah,
mistake.
I think that there are. Everyone's always said every player has a price, and I do kind of agree.
Well,
Um,
someone on TikTok, mate. Sorry to interrupt. Has put if Martinez goes, we should go for Liverpool's second keeper, which is just that young Callahan
oh,
guy.
what's
Is
his
it
name? What's his bloody name? Kelleher?
Kelleher? So, yeah, I don't know.
Mm,
Games on 12. Why Martinez? I don't know, mate. I'm
yeah, I
just
think everyone's saying about
honestly.
it. I haven't seen it because unfortunately I have like an epic long drive, so I try to avoid the traffic, and I still managed to not avoid the traffic because coming to the roundabout, what have they done? Closed 2 lanes, so instead of 3 lanes, it's one. It's absolute chaos, and I'm
Well,
just like, fuck, God's
to be
sake.
fair, by the time we got back to the car, because we've stayed for the lap, Lavana, like sort of thing, mate, traffic around where we park,
Yeah.
honestly, was ultimate chaos. So that's probably built up from
Well,
what you just
it
said.
would have built up all the way down
Yeah.
that road. Yeah, so
I
I'd have
mean,
been still there.
we
I would
did
have
get
still
out
been on the
eventually,
way.
and the traffic was fine, but the rest of it, fucking hell, I thought we were going to be there all night.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Kelleher, yeah.
So,
I,
Brummy Villains put
I mean,
Martinez won't.
we're already linked with it's Joan Garcia. I think it's at Villarreal. We will raid Spain. We'll raid Spain for a goalie.
Well, maybe.
Um,
Look, mate, I said on the last show, I thought all the Martinez stuff was bullshit, but that reaction
I will
today,
also, I will also. Well, yeah. I mean, we said it was. We didn't say it was bullshit. I think we said that. I mean, there's no smoke without fire. Usually, there's
yeah,
something in it. I think we said that we didn't think he would go. Like, as
yeah,
in,
yeah,
he wouldn't want to play in that league
yeah.
because he's
Well,
too competitive.
we said he's either goes to another Champions League team in Europe, or he goes to another Premier League team that's in the Champions League, which I don't see happening. I think he wants to stay at Villa and win a trophy, but I just like mate, I genuinely wouldn't have believed it. But I looked at him in the eyes and I couldn't believe the tears, like the emotion in his face was. There's no way that's over that game. That it looked like a good boy. Now I
Yeah.
hope I'm horribly wrong, mate, and he's just an emotional guy, and he's we've won the game and third clean sheet. I'm really happy, and he's just I can't contain the emotion, but. I'm telling you, look, oh, mate, and I'm devastated by it because it's one player that I wouldn't have thought we would have going to sell.
Yeah.
I would say that you get hands off. He's not available because we haven't got a direct replacement like others. We've got cover, and we can
Mm.
pull and
It's such a
pinch, but
key. It's such a key position for that entire defensive unit. It is like that the defense know they have this. They're able to take risks because they know that if they get through, they're still going to get past Emmy.
yeah,
And like today, I mean that I need to see that. Was it Tell? I think with the little flick shot
yeah, yeah,
that he
yeah,
saved, fantastic save. From in real time from where I was sitting, it looked very good. And it's stuff like that. I mean, the thing is to be fair, Emmy has on the whole this season actually sometimes been a bit questionable. That
yeah,
like we've said, there's been too many times where the first shot has been a goal, and some of them near post. He has made some mistakes, but he's a fantastic keeper, and he offers us so much more than just like those individual moments of mistakes. Um, he's also like it's just such a character, and it's just like the whole thing around him, the world's number one, all this kind. It's yeah, it just doesn't feel like a player you should be
Well,
selling. He feels
that's
like
where he lost his emotion, mate. When the crowd started singing that as he walked towards the whole end, that's when he just went. It got to him. And there's a couple of comments here that I've got that says he was emotional because the last game at Villa Park. It's been an epic season, and he's just emotional. Don't think it's that deep. That's from Brummy Villain. And then,
does it remind you
um,
of Jack, the Jack
he-
goodbye when he thought he was going
yeah,
to Spurs?
maybe. And then someone's put Fat Man Who Eats Cheese. Quite a great name that is. If Emmy goes, who replaces him though, because Garcia should be off to Real Madrid. There's talk of that Spanish keeper. Yeah, I don't know. Kelleher won the league with Liverpool, but again, he's a bit part player. I think he whoever you get in is not going to be a suitable replacement for Emery. Like, I don't care.
I think the point. I think you can't like he's, you know, he's technically the world, like one of probably top 3-4 goalies in the world. So how you can't replace. But arguably, they may be looking at it going, well, again, we apparently do need to sell for PSRs and blah, blah. Not, I don't think it's to sell for PSR, but it's to sell to be able to reinforce and stay within PSR. And so
I'm fed up with this bullshit though. Of kind of.
Oh, I know.
It's really fucking me off. Like, to be quite honest,
it doesn't make sense, does it? Because we've just made 80 million profits solely from the Champions League.
Yeah,
like without selling a single player. So I'm just I don't. And people just read into it and say, "Oh, we don't need to do it for PSR." I'm just like, maybe we do, maybe we don't. But like, maybe they're just looking at it as a commercial thing and they're going, "Look, he's not old, but he's aging and he's at his peak. We've got a really good offer. We can't turn it down. We've had to do it. We're going to get another goalkeeper and try and make do, and we can also reinforce elsewhere, so we can use those funds for."
What I will say, and I'm going to try and keep the faith, because I think our owners aren't stupid. I think they know what they're doing. I think Emery knows what he's doing. So anyone that does go, and if it is Emery, right, it will be for the benefit of the club. And
yeah, they'll have a plan. They're not just doing it. Quid's in.
It's just in the short term, when you're trying to build something and go into that like next season of arguably competing again. And you know, I know I'm in cuckoo land and people laugh at me when I say this, but I really felt that we're close to kind of competing for the league. Like, ironically,
years, I reckon,
mate, if results went for us over the next 2 games that are left and everyone lost, we could still finish second. No, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we could finish fourth. Like, I mean, that's completely not out of the realm.
We're not a million miles off it, are we? And so when you talk about letting Emmy go, and that's the only one that I wouldn't want to let go. I think we can replace Watkins. I think we can replace people like Ramsey, but your goalkeeper, Kamara's the only one, mate. We've got to make sure he signs a deal. That's going to got to be priority.
I mean, okay, maybe it was different, but
competing for the league, put the drink down. Mate, I've got this guy on TikTok called XY who's convinced we're going bankrupt, I think, and he's we've had conversations about PSR, and he's like, we spent too much money, it's all doom and gloom. I've just said about putting anything, so I'm drunk. I'm not, mate. I promise you, watching Emery, he's the best. I think he's arguably, bar Pep, the best coach in the league, right? And even Pep's been off it, and he's coming onto the back end of it. I'm telling you, with the right players, 2 or 3 extra players in that Villa team, we could compete. I've seen nothing in this league this year that sometimes we couldn't challenge for the title.
The depth of the squad, and we've talked about, there's not many teams in the league that can make substitutions and not to weaken their team. Obviously weaken it. Whereas we make changes and it's actually tactical. It's not, oh, we need to take him off and just put a like for like on. Here's our second player in that position who, it is generally for a reason, and it's because that player offers different qualities, not because he's just a like for like replacement and a B player. I think what I was going to say was last season, in the summer when Dougie went, did you have the similar feeling though? It was like, God, we can't get rid of Dougie. He's massive. He's so important. He's had a brilliant season. We can't let him go. He's like one of the first names in the team sheet. He's arguably like one of our best players. And then Tielemans has come in and just
like, well, yeah, you're right. But like in that scenario, like if you sell Martinez, for instance, like there isn't,
you don't have a ready-made replacement.
You haven't got anyone going, actually, he could step up to the plate. So that worries me. But
I assume he's only going if we've got someone basically ready.
Yeah, the only thing
that does worry me is that we've done it. We did it in Jan. we got rid of we got rid of Carlos, and it was like shit. We don't have
yeah.
a centre back.
Well, goalkeeper's a different kettle of fish, though, and you can't not play without a decent keeper. But got a comment on TikTok from someone called Junaid who basically said if Emi goes, we should definitely get a statue of him.
Or at least just like or at least like some kind of plaque with his gloves.
Yeah,
like so there needs to be something because it's mad as well. Because how long's Emi been at?
Life is like spaghetti. It's hard until you make it. No, the thing is, there's no you can't build a statue of anyone until they win something. If Emi wants a statue, I'd love him to have one, but he needs to stay for another year and win a trophy, and then get him the trophy. Same with Emery, like as great as he's done. Now the challenge is to win silverware. It has to be. We got closer again this year by getting to the semi-final of the FA Cup. We got close to the Champions. I mean, the Champions League was in touching distance, mate. Like you just
ridiculous. Would imagine? Just imagine if we were in that final.
It was crazy. It's not like I can't believe how close we were to winning that game. Like you're talking millimeters, So and some dodgy refereeing around time added on. Do you know what I mean?
On the ref. Even what was with the ref? What was with the ref today? Did he just want the limelight? What was all that crap? What was all that rubbish that was kicking off between in the second half? Spurs were like obviously trying to rile us up and get
It was Konza in it, and then
Onana was involved, and it was all just handbags. And it was just we were just like, what's going on here? What is going on?
Well, it took so long, didn't it, to sort it out? It was like fucking ended with 6 minutes injury time because of that. Like it's just ridiculous.
I can't stand it. I just can't stand all that rubbish.
We always get shit refs, mate.
But just to speak a little bit more about the game, like I've actually got a 4-minute video of Rodgers basically walking around the pitch.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lack of effort. I think he's just dead.
Ironically, when he went into the centre,
81st minute,
81st minute, like he just run. But again, it baffles my head. Like when before we scored the goal, and he was getting substitutes ready, wasn't he? And he got Barkley and Bailey coming on, and we were like, what's going? Why is Marlon not fucking? And even when
why does Marlon get like 5 minutes, and then also those 5 minutes, 3 minutes of them are taken up by 3 separate subs? So I was like, all he got was like 2 minutes.
At this point, I'm convinced he's having an affair with Emery's wife. He must be. How do you buy a player? How do you buy a player in January?
Oh God.
And have him interviewed at the start of his signing on thing, going, I'm looking forward to Champions League, and then tell him 3 days later he's not in the Champions League
squad. Doesn't play in the Premier League. Doesn't play
in the Premier League. And don't play in the cups and gets about.
I don't understand. Mate, did he actually do anything after I left? I mean, I left with like 3 minutes to go.
Mate, he ran his he had this thing where he ran past 2 players and the ball was going towards 2 Spurs event. He just fucking steamrolled into him, mate, and try and win the ball. It was brilliant. He got a corner out of it. Like he's direct, and I can't pass judgment on him because I haven't seen him play enough. But his goals to minutes ratio must be superb. Like in what So I don't know. Like what's he done? What's he got to do? Is he just going to play a massive part next season because Watkins might potentially leave and he's going to be our main man? But if I was Marlon, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? When you see, mainly, he probably brought Bailey on because I think that was his last goodbye as well, because he was quite emotional at the end. He kind of dropped to his knees on his pitch, and it was cute when he brought his family on, but he looked emotional, and, I think that could be the end for Bailey as well.
I mean, that's not a surprise. Really.
No, it's not a surprise. I think that's the right decision, if I'm honest. The Emmy wave hit hard. Just got another guy on here. Like it was.
Tough, I don't want to speculate too much because obviously there's a lot of
what you need tomorrow, if you get a chance, just have a look at the footage because it's all over social media and you pictures of his face. Like it was, like I say, it looked like it was a goodbye for me, and that's makes me sad.
Is it? No. But obviously permutations. So Chelsea obviously beating Man U, unfortunately.
Which we thought would happen, right? We thought that would happen.
Yeah, exactly. We said it happened, and also, but it basically means that I think it would have been the case anyway. No, maybe I'm not 100% sure. We have to beat. If they'd lost to Man U, then if they drew with Forest, we wouldn't have had to beat Man U.
Yeah, just the draw would have been enough, wouldn't it?
But we have to beat Man U regardless, because if Forest win and we don't win, Forest jump above us. If we don't win and Chelsea get a draw or win, they're above
If I'm
us
honest,
anyway.
I don't see Forest beating West Ham. I think they're going to draw that game. I do. I think
Yeah,
Forest.
potentially. But I mean, it doesn't matter anyway, because Chelsea's the one. Basically, we have to beat, man. We have to win at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And obviously there's the Europa League final on Wednesday, where it's Man U Spurs. So Man U will either potentially be a bit buoyed from that, or they'll be deflated because they've lost. But then they might want to make a point of it, and put on one last performance for the end of the season. Who knows? They actually played all right first half against Chelsea. Apparently they were pretty good.
Well, mate, we can't rule out as well. Like, Man City have got a tough week this week. They have, right? Like, if they lose the FA Cup final tomorrow, they've got to play Bournemouth on Tuesday and finish away at Fulham. Right now, they could drop points too. They could, because then.
Mate, this is crazy. So sorry, we're gonna. Yeah, it's written all over Villa not to win. Yeah, Tom K just saying it's written all over Villa not to win at Old Trafford. We've won twice in 15 years or something like that.
But we've also not played a Man United team this shit, right? So, like, it's same with Spurs today. Like, I can't believe that. If you think back to when they beat us last year 4-1, and and the time when Harry Kane was still there, they beat us 4-1 when we competing around the same level. Mate, they played us off the park. And today, I've watched a team like that just literally try and sit with 9 men behind the ball.
We didn't really get our second gear at any point during that game, and it never looked in doubt, really.
Listen to this for a comment. You're gonna like this one on TikTok. I'm gonna tell my son that you're Phil Mitchell. That's made me chuckle. Oh God, that's funny.
Tickle me.
Where's that gone? Oh yeah, TikTok. Yeah, that's amazing, mate. I love that. I'm a younger, hopefully better looking version. But I see where you're getting at. It's the wrinkles.
It's a wonderful place sometimes, isn't it? But yeah, so obviously, we just have to go there and win. And
look, we got to be positive.
But I will say that we need to be better than we were today.
Yeah, well, look, we can only take care of business. Today was as frustrating as it was. We were in total
in a row, by the way.
Yeah, 3 clean sheets. We were in total control of the game, mate. And I don't see Man United threatening us in any way. Like, I think we should be able to go there and get a game. What's that? Sorry, just.
Well, Shree was. Sorry. Tom K said he had to Google who Phil Mitchell was. No, Shriek saying, I think Chelsea sealed it with their late winner today. With no Champions League football, it's not going to be a nice summer for outgoings. Yeah, I mean, I think this is I mean, we kind of said this, right? We said that if we don't get Champions League, the best of the best in our team will leave. However, you say this, if Emmy and Bailey are going to Saudi, that's nothing to do with Champions League. No. So it's like that's just money. So
money.
And I do think that Kamara, the offer on the table, I think he's waiting to see where we finish.
Well, I mean, the horrible scenario is, mate, that we could well end up losing out on goal difference. Like, there's a scenario where results go through it, we finish on 69 points and we level on points with Chelsea. And
it's that stupid lack of clean sheets throughout the season that's done us.
So that's going to be the sad thing, because Chelsea could beat Forest and we could beat United, which means we'll be on the same points, but we lose out on goal difference, and that's just fucking devastating, because that's been that downside in the middle part of the season where we couldn't score and we're conceding goals for fun, and that could cost us. I hope it doesn't come down to that. I hope that, like, Forest and Chelsea draw and that's enough for us. But like I say, City could get dragged into it. It all depends on what the result of that game is tomorrow in the FA Cup. I don't see. I see Newcastle going on and just. I think they'll beat Arsenal and I think they'll beat Everton. Yeah, I do. Probably. Arsenal have got fuck all to play for. They're on the beach, aren't they? It's. I just. Well, they might draw with Arsenal, but I think they'll beat Everton.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
But I mean,
they're
at
on
the end
the
of the
front.
day, for us, we just got to beat Man U, which sounds like it shouldn't be that difficult, but I just don't trust us against Man U for whatever reason. It's just always this annoying game. It's always quite eventful. There's usually like a controversial penalty or some kind of like last minute goal or some crap. And so I just hate it. I hate Man U. I hate Old Trafford. I just can't stand it. I hate it so much. So it'll be so amazing if we win. If we won there to get Champions League, that would be one of the greatest.
Great end to the season, wouldn't it? The question is, in facing Man U, do we want them to have won the Europa League or to have lost it? Which is going to put them in the mindset to not give a fuck about that game next week? Do you know what I mean? That's the big question.
This is the problem is that I think Ruben Amorim is pretty. I think he's a pretty angry man. So I feel like if they lose, he's gonna be like, you absolute sacks of shit. You need to like do.
You're all fired. Well, if they lose, they might put out their under 12,
and a bit confident. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what happens. I think on Wednesday, if we go there and play like we can play, we will win comfortably because we are miles better than them. Like miles better. It's just whether we can, because I'd say actually our last like 4 games have not been good. Like we've managed to grind out those results since that City game, that last minute sucker punch.
Yeah.
That's really, mate, that game. And again, that's that fucking point. That point be so important if we'd manage to hold on to that. Sharik saying about Bailey, even though he hasn't played this season, something quite sad about him going. I think it's more just like disappointment because they were so good last season and we wanted to kick on this season.
He's
and
also quite a likeable character, isn't he, Bailey? He's quite a likeable character. And so I think it's a shame because his downfall is probably Diaby leaving. I think if you look at last season, how good they were together.
Yeah, because he was creating the space for him to run into and run out of players. And also, I mean, injuries haven't helped him. I think that's massively affected his confidence in his body. I feel like he doesn't feel like he's got that burst of space anymore that you can just try and beat a player. He doesn't have the confidence to beat a player. And I think that's really done him. And unfortunately, and again, though, I do feel like it's also, again, one of those players, similar when I was speaking about Watkins and saying that because of the way teams are setting up against us now, it's a slightly different task. He doesn't get the space as much, perhaps, because we're not playing quite as much on transition. And teams aren't playing against us, so we're having to break them down. And that doesn't make sense for Bailey. He's not that kind of player.
No, and also confidence is not to, because when he has played, although if you think of like to last season where he'd get one-on-one, he'd take players on, he'd
everything
cut inside and
everything he touched, cut in, bang.
Yeah,
like, it was fantastic.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? Like and assists as well. Like he racked them up, and then all of a sudden this year,
the proper wing goes direct to get to the byline, he cut it back. But just now he goes to take a player on, cuts back, and just plays it back to Cash.
But I have to one of the things that baffles me, like down that right hand side, whether it be Cash or Bailey, easy.
Yeah, never take a player on, do they? Never take a player on.
If you look at today's game, there was opportunities for Cash to overlap, and he didn't do it, right? And I said to Gaz next to me, it's almost like he's been told not to go.
I think he has been told not to go.
And the only time he does go is when we move the ball. So once the team is moved up, then he'll look to overlap. But when we've got that transition and a chance to counter, he won't burst. It's Maatsen that he's told to do that.
Yeah, I was about to say it's because Maatsen's going. So if Maatsen's going, we can't have Cash go as well because we will basically just be so exposed.
No, I understand that. But if the space is down the right-hand side to run into, surely you just go, look, guys, you're professional footballers, Maatsen, you stay, and Cash goes. Otherwise, we become so totally predictable which way we're going. It's frustrating because I guess because you see the space and you see where it could go, which then leads me to believe that it's being coached into them to say, actually, don't go. And that is frustrating because you're trying to break down teams in only one way. And like I say, that becomes predictable and easy to defend against, which Spurs found it in the first half because you just drop deep, you put 9 men behind the ball and go, we know it's coming down the left-hand side. So we just double team Maatsen, and there's no threat down the right, which it wasn't. And by the time, because Cash didn't go and we did move it out to the right, again, it's just a question of shuffling across when you're trying to break teams down. It doesn't make any sense. You've got to do it both and mix it up a little bit, maybe. But it just seems that we've got that one way of playing: keep the ball, keep the ball, keep the ball, keep the ball. Look for a little pass inside. Try and move it out to the left of Maatsen. It's not that. Come back, recycle, and then we don't move the ball quick enough because it comes back to the centre halves, and it's. You see where you want the movement. You want Asensio and Rodgers in today to be making those runs, and they just occupied the same space and nullified each other. Like Rodgers was dreadful in the first half.
There were so many times when Torres had the ball, and like to be fair to, he didn't have a very good game. But to be fair to him, the lack of movement. You're literally looking at the midfield, and Asensio, Rodgers, and Watkins were basically all about 2 yards from each other. Just bunched into this little set of 3, and I was just like, well, he's got no one to pass to. Like, there's nothing because Onana and Kamara are basically as deep because he's so high.
Yeah,
I was like, they're basically as deep as he is. So I was like, well, there's no one's moving. Everyone's kind of standing there pointing, play it in there, and it's just like. It was really frustrating that first half. And so I think the second half, you saw Asensio coming quite deep. You saw Rodgers running in off the right and going more central and stuff. So it was maybe just like, he was like, okay, we need more movement here.
We moved the ball a little bit quicker second half. Alan Smith. Do you reckon that's the actual Alan Smith?
Yeah, imagine when you had a penalty turned down, they always get them. So I knew Chelsea would win. They wanted them in the Champions League over us. Yeah. I mean, it's still the whole conspiracy thing in it, but I don't want to go.
He's not wrong, is he? He's not wrong in terms of that big 6. Like, he was trying to break it up. You watch some dodgy decisions go. Like at Chelsea, are playing to get a last-minute penalty to win the game against Forest.
I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting here. Like Sharik said here, it's all on Chelsea. It's all on if Chelsea beat Forest.
It's quite funny.
Which is, I think they will sneak a win. Because Forest have fully lost the plot. I don't know. Like, obviously, I follow Forest quite closely, and I think Chelsea is susceptible to that counter. And I think that Alanga and Gibbs White, Hudson, I can't remember if Hudson Odoi is injured or not. I think they will cause them serious problems. So I actually don't think that Forest. I don't think I'm quite confident that Chelsea will draw that game. Personally, I'm just not confident that we're going to beat Man U.
That's the thing. Well, mate, we said all along that
if Chelsea draw, we draw. I'm going to be so angry.
Oh, fucking hell!
It's going to be so frustrating.
The thing is, we said it, didn't we? That's exactly what's probably going to happen. Like Chelsea will probably even. Chelsea will draw and we will lose, and you just go, fuck's sake. And they'll get Champions League on.
Well, 62. If that happens, Forest go above us, so they've got better goal difference. So do we actually finish 7th?
Oh, that'll be horrible. I mean, the crazy thing is, mate, we could finish on 69 points, which is a point more than we did last year, and finish 4th, and end up finishing 6th or 7th if results go So, not that it's difficult to say because the season's been amazing, but to finish with nothing, not nothing, but just a European place.
Yeah, so Pete, my brother, he was saying at the game, he said, "What a brilliant season it's been." I was like, "Yeah, it's been like amazing. It's been a weird season. It's been very frustrating at times and wonderful at others. Like some of the games we've had have been incredible. Like the PSG, obviously the Champions League games, were absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Some of the results we've had at home, like this season, some of the games we've had have been fantastic." But it's just been a weird one. It could easily, like you said, just end that we could finish qualifying for the Conference League, and that's it. It's kind of how and Man U and Spurs have finished 16th and 17th. Qualified. One of them was qualified for the Champions League.
Oh,
It's
I think that's the sickening blow, isn't it? That's
yeah.
the sickening blow. And he's right. Tom's put on there, like, goal difference is shocking. It has cost us, and
It has. And like I said, it's been those league goals. We went. I think was it. It wasn't until it was until like about 8 or 9 games ago that I think we'd only had like 3 clean sheets in the league all season.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was
and then we've managed to have like 8 or 7 or 8 in our last 11 or something like that.
Well, the crazy thing is, mate, look at the run of form we're on. That's what is
mate,
that? 8 wins out of 9, right?
Yeah.
And it could be 10 wins out of 11, right? Or 9 wins out of 10.
It'd be 9 out of 10. It'd be 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Right, so 9 out of 10, mate. And that
one loss, by the way, was the last kick of the game against City.
Again, but poor team selection. Should have chose Mings instead of Torres, but fucking, that is what it is. But it's difficult to moan about that, and that's great form. It's European Champions League form, and
this is I think this is. I just don't. I think because of the PSG win, but going out of the Champions League, then having the massive Palace loss as well.
Yeah.
It's just kind of because now it's in between all this. It feels like we kind of won 3, lost 1, 1-2, lost 1. Well, actually, no. In the league, we are us. I think it was us and one other team. Was it Bournemouth? Maybe. On the 2 best form in the entire league, by a mile. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's incredible because I think, what is it? Is it like 4 losses at home or something under Emery in 2.5 years?
Mate, like Villa Park has become a fortress. It has.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable form, and I just think
Is it only 1 league loss this season? Because we lost to Arsenal at home.
Yeah.
And then we lost in the cup against Palace.
Yeah.
Fucking Palace.
That's it, isn't it?
But I think that's it.
Yeah. And, with that form, you would arguably say that we deserve Champions League football. I think we've been one of the better sides in the league this year overall.
Yeah. He actually said it. Okay, he actually said it. We lost once against Arsenal.
And
we should have won that game.
We should have won that game. Watkins again. Oh my God, the 2 misses. Can you? Oh, they're burning my retinas, mate. Oh, fucking Watkins! What a freak.
Yeah. God, let's not go down that because this will be the longest podcast ever.
No, we won't. But I just want us to. It's all this but to maybes. But I just feel with this current form, mate, we just deserve a little bit of luck here for one result to go for us, which is Forest and Chelsea drawing, and for us to beat Man United. I think we can do it, mate.
No one wants Chelsea to qualify for the Champions League.
No,
come on. Like everyone wants Villa to qualify for the Champions League. Surely, no one wants Chelsea. They only want Forest or Villa in it.
Yeah,
fuck off. Like I can't stand Chelsea. They've spent so much money, and they are still relatively average.
Well, look, we at the end of the day, mate, this is what football's all about. We're going to the last game of the season with a chance to qualify for the Champions League.
I hate it. No, I actually hate it. I preferred it last season where we'd already qualified.
Yeah, no, well, of course, but as a neutral going into the last weekend, rather than a relegation battle to thing, we were actually going to have a match of the day where it's going to go to one game and it's going to be for the Champions League places. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. So it's going to make for fantastic viewing, and we'll cry about it afterwards, or we'll laugh about it afterwards, and then we can start getting into the transfer talk and crying about Emmy leaving and see. I'm excited. It's like future's bright, mate.
Yeah, I need to watch that footage. But anyway, so probably going to call it there because I'm exhausted. It's midnight. Yeah. So
I got to get up in 6 hours. I've got a big tournament day tomorrow.
I'll be woke up in about 5 hours for my son. So we'll be doing something probably mid next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Just talking about this final game and talking about probably do a little bit of a season. How's it gone? Maybe. I mean, we're going to do a proper season review at the end of the season, but yeah, talk a little bit about stuff that's happening. Maybe there is stuff about Emmy and all that kind of stuff. And
Well,
then
we'll have a look at what's in the news, mate, and maybe we'll talk about because there's bound to be stuff being mentioned between now and then.
And then on
we'll do
Thursday morning, we'll do a preview for the big
Man United game. Yeah. Now, stay tuned for that one, guys, because I'm going to be away and I'm going to definitely probably be in a hot tub.
You're probably going to be in a hot tub, aren't you?
Right. So with a beer in hand, talking about that game. I'm gonna look forward to that one. And then, like I say, I don't know if we should mention that, but potentially for that end of season review, we can have a guest on and that should be a fun show.
Yeah, I think she's someone we've spoke with. She's quite big on TikTok, I believe.
Yeah, hopefully some of you know. It's Amy follows Aston Villa, so if you know her, if we don't, go and follow her on TikTok. She's doing some wonderful stuff.
Amy follows Aston Villa.
Amy follows AVFC. It is. Go and check her out. She's been doing some wonderful stuff. I think she interviewed Juan Pablo Angel last week and in Spanish, which was right. Yeah, which was impressive. And so she's got some good insights, and I think it will be great to have her on and get a female perspective of the Villa this season because she's knowledgeable. So looking forward to that.
Right, brilliant. Right, well, sing us out then, Gaz.
Here we go. Well done tonight, boys. Great game in the end. Great result. We needed it. It was more or less straightforward as I thought it would be. We've got to take that into next week, and as we always do, mate. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Peace.
See you.
Love. We'll see you on Tuesday. I'm emotional about the end of the game.